Is there any Bhakti literature?
Bhakti literature in Sangam age. Yes, there are two books in Sangam age. One is in Pattu Pattu, second one is in Ettu Togai. In Pattu Pattu, Tirumurugatrupadai, written by Nakira, in that he is talking about the 6 important places of Lord Muruga. Nakira is praising the important 6 places of Lord Muruga.
Okay.
It is called as Aru Padai Veedu. Aru means 6, Padai Veedu means it is a battery. Because in the war time, if we want to collect our ammunitions and weapons, in India we are having 2 batteries, especially in South India. In Madras we are having Clive's battery near railway beach station. And second one is in Kerala, Sultan's battery is there. So battery means where we usually collect all the ammunitions for the defense. So that is called the battery. The same thing if we want to put it in Tamil, it is called Padai Veedu. Padai means army. Veedu means where the soldiers normally stay. So Lord Muruga is having an that is called Arupadai Veedu. In his work Tirumurugatrupadai, he is guiding a pilgrimage how to go to all the Padai Veedus of Lord Muruga. So that is called Tirumurugu Atrupadai. Tiru means it's a respective word. The prefix respective word. Murugu means Lord Muruga. Atrupadai means telling the way to reach Lord Muruga's place one after another. So that is called Tirumurugatrupadai. It is that is, and another book is in Ettu Togai, that is called Paripadal. Originally the Paripadal 70 in number, but we got only 18 in full form, and 4 songs are incompleted songs we are having. The total 70 is not available at present. So in that one is on the river Vaigai, second one is on Tirumal. Tirumal means the Lord who is in Tiruvengadam, that is Tirupati. And third one is Sevvel. Sevvel means Lord Muruga. So these are all the 2 books are written by the scholars in Sangamage. Tirumurugatrupadai written by Nakira, but whereas Paripadal written by many poets. So we got only 18. All the 18 poems written 7 or 8 poets, not by the same person. So this is the these are all the 2 Bhakti literatures available in Sangam age. Right?
Who were some of the famous women poets during this era?
Yeah. During the Sangam period, first and the foremost poetess is Avvayar. And second one is Okkur Masatiyar. Third one is Velli Vidiyar. Fourth one is Kakkai Padiniyar. Fifth one is Adi Mandiyar. Why I am talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, giving number to them. Avvayar's contribution, right? Not only in Purananuru, she has written a lot and lot more of songs in Sangam age, and she was closely having the association with the great kings in the past. So Avvayar is the first and the foremost women poet in the past who has written lot of works in Tamil, and as well as the Okkur Masatiyar, Ponmudiyar, Kakkai Padiniyar, Adi Mandiyar. Adi Mandi is the daughter of the great Chola Emperor Karigal Peruvalatha. So they are not only the people, are farmers, some of them are kings, some of them are emperors.
Where's Tirupavai coming in this, sir, with reference to Sangam literature?
So Sangam literature and Tirupavai are not there won't be a chance of connection because Tirupavai written by Andal in 7th century end and the initial of the 8th century. Right. But in Tirupavai, Andal in the last song she says, Sangat Tamil Muppaduvum Tappamal Chonnarku, the phrase she used. So what she is mentioning in her work, what I have written in Pavai, Padal, in these 30 songs, I adopted the grammar of Sangam age. So I am not deviating from Sangam grammar according to the Sangam grammar only, because every man can ask without actually being a spinster how it is possible for a lady to explain or explore or to tell about her personal feelings and personal opinion about the love and that all. This tradition is followed. This tradition is followed from Sangam age, she says. So that is the only relation that Pavai Padal is having the connection with Sangam literature. One. Number two, I already mentioned about Paripadal. It is in Ettutogai. In Paripadal, normally ladies used to have this type of nonbu, this type of penance during the period of Thai month. It is known as a Thai Neeradal. It is rightly mentioned by a poet in Paripadal. That too also, while he is describing the river bank of Vaiyai, that is in Madurai, that poet is talking about how the young girls, with the help of the guidelines taken from their mother, how they conducted their nonbu in the month of Thai in order to get a better husband. So for that purpose only they conducted that Thai Pavai Neeradal. It's Thai Neeradal. It is rightly mentioned in Paripadal. The same tradition Andal is doing in the month of Margazhi. So that's why she says, I am following the Sangam tradition. That's why she mentioned in her work, Sangat Tamil Muppaduvum. I have written 30 songs. All these 30 songs are having the proper method of writing. I adopted these methods only from Sangam literature. So she adopted the concept of Sangam age and written in her work. That's the only relation the Pavai Padal and as well as the Sangam literature are having. And another thing, these type of Pavai Pat rightly mentioned in Paribadal also. So Paribadal is the first and the foremost book for the Neeradal songs that is rightly followed by Andal in her work and written the Tirupavai.
Very clear, sir. Very clear. But just a matter of curiosity, sir. Thai is January 15th onwards. Margazhi is till January 15th. Why changing the time?
It is Thai Neeradal means after having the penance for the past 30 days in the month of Margazhi.
Okay.
So in the first day of Thai, they used to take their holy dip in the river Vaihai.
Very clear. Very clear. Thank you, sir.
That's the same thing Andal also saying.
Very clear.
We will not be doing anything during this Margazhi month. After the Margazhi month, in the first day of Thai, Mooda nei peய்து முழங்கை வழிவார பார்த்திருந்து ஏழேலோர் எம்பாவாய். So after the penance only we are going to celebrate our Lord. So sure. Both are same.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question here, sir.
அது இப்போ வந்து கீழடியில கண்டுபிடிச்ச அந்த பானை அந்த இதுல எல்லாம் ஓட்டுல எல்லாம் பிரம்மி ஸ்கிரிப்ட் தான் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஸ்கிரிப்ட் வந்து தமிழ் மாதிரி இல்ல பிரம்மி ஸ்கிரிப்ட். அப்போ இப்போ வந்து நக்கீரர் எழுதினதும் அதே ஸ்கிரிப்ட்ல தானா இல்ல வந்து அவர் கடைச்சங்கம் இல்லையா?
And that the excavation in Keeladi showed pots with Brahmi script. Is it the same script used in Sangam literature or was it different?
I'll tell you one thing. There was two types of Brahmi languages in the past. One Brahmi script used for Tamil writing, another one is used for Sanskrit writing. Right? There were two types of Brahmi scripts in South. One. So the Sangam, the Kidadi things are Brahmi scripts accepted. But in the third Sangam, we started to have the Vattaluthu. Right? After that Vattaluthu, then we started to write the Tamili, and Tamili to Tamil now what we are using. So Nakirats and all other scholars who work written in that regular Tamil during the 8th century. But we don't know and we don't have any old scripts at all. Whether it is in Brahmi or it is in, what do you call, Tamili or Vattaluthu, these are all the scripts we are not having. Traditionally, people, generation to generation, they will pass it on the same script to others. In those days, if you want to learn one particular poem means, you have to go and approach a teacher. The first you have to do, you have to copy the poem from the teacher's palm leaf to your palm leaf. That is the way you have to store your poems. That's a method. Nowadays, we are going and buying the books in the stall and start reading. In those days, it was not like that. Whatever the literature, if you want to go and learn, automatically you have to go to a teacher. The teacher will give the original script. By way of having the original script, you have to write or make a copy for you. Then after copying the entire book in your own palm leaf, then only the teacher start to teach the subject. Then once you becoming a teacher, if some other is coming to you, you have to hand over the original script to him. And he will copy from your script. These are all the system periodically how it is transformed from one generation to another generation. So we are having only the Tamil script, even if it is having in the Brahmi to Vattaluthu, from Vattaluthu to Tamil, periodically the changes have taken place in the past. But in the 8th century, we are having, and what the original Tamil script, how now what we are having, the same style of writing scripts were available in 8th century. That's all. Clear?
One more. Right. பாடல்ல இந்த பாலும் தெளிதேனும் பாகுபர்ல சங்கத்தமிழ் மூன்றும் தா அப்படினா அவ காலத்துல இந்த சங்கத்தமிழ் மூணும் இருந்துதான்னு கேக்குறேன்.
Even that's the reason only I already mentioned you in the past. If you are going to talk about Tamil, it is Muttamil only. Iyal Isai Nadagam. The Muttamil concept is, Muttamil is a Moondru Tamil. Moondru is the prefix for Tamil forever. One thing. And second thing, you mentioned about that Vinayakar Patu by Avvayar. That Avvayar is different from Sangha Avvayar.
Yeah.
That Avvayar is totally different from Sangha Avvayar. This Avvayar is a modern Avvayar.
Correct. You have mentioned that earlier, sir, about the number of Avvayar.
That's why. That's why Sangha Tamil Moondrum Ta means everybody is mentioning about the Sangam literature. Because Sangam literatures are unique in its nature. That's why every scholar is talking about Sangam literature.
So basically, it's a point of reference.
Exactly.
Yeah, very clear, sir. So another question. Thank you, sir. It would be interesting to understand the different types of instruments used in the Sangam age according to the Tinai and how it has changed over time.
Because in those days, you easily you can understand what is available in your place that you can use it. Whether it is food or your entertainmental instrument. What is available because in those days migration was not that much great, because the Dravidian culture is a settled culture. So in the 5 landscapes were there, in the 5th land, Palai is not at all a landscape of Tamil Nadu, because we don't have desert in Tamil Nadu. So the Kurunji, the mountain region, Mullai, the forest region, both the things are ruining out. That state of condition is known as Palai. It is rightly mentioned by Ilangovadigal in Silappatikaram. Mullayum, Kurunjiyum, Moraimayil Thirindu, Nal Iyalbu Urandu, Nadungu Tuyar Eidum, Palai Enbador Padivam Kollum. What he says, Mullai, the forest region, Kurunji, the mountain region, both the things lost their quality, then they becoming a dry area. That area is known as Palai. That's all. We don't have any real desert in South India. So the people were having the settled culture. What are the things available in their land? That is the reason I mentioned in the Karuporul, every land is having their own food system. You can't get that food from other area, what is available in your own area. So according to their land based and land situation, they are having their own instruments and their own drums. So they can perform only their own music. So that music make them happy, that music make them sad, whatever the thing. They are what was available in that area, they were performing, that was their culture. That's why the harp was different in shape and different in size. Siriyal, the small harp was there, Periyal, bigger harp, Sagodayal, Magarayal, these are all the names of harps. So every harp is having a different and different curve, and every harp is having different counts of strings. Siriyal was having only 7 strings, but whereas Mullayal is having only 5 strings. So that was the culture and that was the practice of those people. Later on, once we started to have the mixed culture, automatically the instruments and all other things also mixed with every culture. So automatically we have to design a new way of using new method of designing the instruments. Now we are having the modern instruments for. That's why every land was having its own emotion. According to that emotion only, the musical instruments were used by the people. And those instruments are only capable of producing that land-based emotion music only. You can, for example, with the help of the Mullai harp, you can't make Marudappan. It is not possible.
Okay.
It is not possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Sir, one question which actually you have already answered, but I'll just again mention the same for clarification. Works of Alvars and Nayanmars
belonging to 5th century AD. She is belonging to 5th century. Then after that Karakalamaya, we are having Thirugnana Sambandar. Then Navukkarathar, then Sundarar, then Manikavasagar and so on. So only from the 5th century only we are knowing about the Nayanmars. Only after 9th century we are all knowing about the Alvars. But whereas Sangam era completed in the AD 2nd century itself. So these Nayanmars and as well as the Alvars are nowhere related to Sangam age, but they are all knowing the Sangam literature. They are all knowing the Sangam literature. They might have come across certain songs or certain poems, but I don't say that they know everything from Sangam age. Sorry, that type of information is a wrong information. They know a little of Sangam age, that's all. Because then their aim was to promote and propagate the religion only. They wanted to take that language and as well as the what you call the culture of the land becoming the tool for themselves to spread the religion. So their importance to spread the religion, not the language, not the what other cultural aspects. So there were no direct and what do you call the influence or impactment were not there in Bhakti literature. These are all the literature written only after 5th century. So before 3rd century, the end of 2nd century, Sangam era comes to an end.
Very
right. I have one question.
Yes, Vidhi.
Related to the same thing, Alvars, Nayanmars, and you had mentioned Andal said to have used the grammar and the Sangam literature aspects in her poems. So would that the other Alvars and Nayanmars, do they also kind of follow some of the Sangam grammar and the literature? That's one. Two, what about the Ragangal, the pun that they talk about? Does that also follow from the Sangam age?
Yeah. Because why I said that they followed the grammar of Sangam age means, for example, if a lady who is actually communicating her love to the hero, in those days it was not possible, because the heroine is not supposed to talk or to say her willingness directly to the hero. So for that she used to adopt the bird or a cloud or some other living things, the animals and so on. So that is called Kamam Kali Padar Kilavi. Kamam means lust. Once the lust is becoming excessive in one's mind, she wants to, or she wanted to communicate it to the hero in proper sense, so that it is not possible for her to say directly. So she is sending the messenger. That messenger is, see the beauty, the messenger is not going to talk to her. The cloud is not going to talk to her. The bird or the animal or the breeze, whatever it is, the things are not going to talk to her. By way of telling to them, she is having some sort of relief. So whether the Andal is going to write a long verses in Pavai segment to the Lord Srinivasa, Lord Narayana, that Narayana is not going to answer for her request. That is the only way she wants to get a remedy. She wants to just expose her ideas and explore the details to the Lord. That's all. The same thing you can see in all the Bhakti literature. It is rightly mentioned in Sangam grammar Tolgapiyam, Kamam Kali Padar Kilavi. Kilavi means word, Padar means sorrow, and Kama means lust. Out of lust, the heroine is revealing a sorrowful attitude toward the hero indirectly. So these systems are rightly adopted by every poet in the subsequent era. Not only the Andal, Navukar did, Manikavasagar did, Jnanasambandar did. Every male or female poets, they adopted that school of grammar and they composed a lot of songs in that way. So that is the reason I am saying they adopted the grammar from the past. And you are asking about the ragas. See, still it is a problem in Tamil literature. We are having 4 different passes in Carnatic music. So even first of all, what do you mean by Carnatic music? Everybody, Carnatic means ancient. First meaning is ancient. Second meaning is Karnam means ear. Because we don't have any method of writing the details, through years we are going on hearing and hearing and hearing. Through that only we are processing something to deliver. We are through the hearing ability only we are memorizing everything. It is Karnam means Kadu, Kadu means ear. Through that ear only we are recalling everything. It is called Carnatic music. But I am giving a new information. Those days Tamil Nadu is known as Karai Nadu. Geographically, the entire South India is known as a peninsula. The peninsula means it is surrounded by the water body, all the 3 directions. One side is the land. So likewise, the entire South India was totally surrounded by 3 different oceans. In the Indian Ocean, in the east, Bay of Bengal, in the west, Arabian Ocean. So the country which one is surrounded by the ocean is known as Karai Nadu. So the Karai Nadu plus music, the Europeans were not able to pronounce it properly. The Karai Nadu becoming Carnatic. So in those days, the Carnatic music is none other than the old Dravidian music alone. 1. Number 2, we are having 4 different passes in the music. One is Sangam age music. For example, in Sangam age, Paripadal is having a very beautiful musical notation. The raga is mentioned and the tala also mentioned in every Paripadal. But we do not know how to render the song. We know the pan. In those days, it is known as a pan. Talam is known as a tuku. There were 7 types of tuku, 7 types of tala. What you are call it as Suladi tala of today, it may be right. Right? 7 types of tala. and there are different puns. Because in those days the person who is writing a poem, he may not knowing the music and rhythm. So he composed the song and it is well scored by another scholar in music, the another scholar who is having the knowledge in rhythm. So in Paripadal you can see the song composed by so and so poet and music scored by so and so person, and Talam, the rhythm scored by some other person, all the three names given in every Paripadal. So that is the first information we are having, that Paripadal is musically sung. But how to render the song, we do not know. Second, after the Sangamage, if you want to know about the Dravidian school of music, you have to depend only on Silappadigaram. Silappadigaram is talking widely about the Dravidian school of music, especially in the Aichiyar Kuravai, how to do the Gragabedam, what you call as in Carnatic music Sajja Panchama Kramam. So this system is Kural Ili Marabu. That is called, Kural means Sajjam, Ili means Panchamam. So that system is rightly adopted properly in Silappadigaram. That too also in the chapter Aichiyar Kuravai. That is widely had the research by Dr. S. Ramanathan. In his PhD work, he says the ancient Dravidian music is the origin of the world music. He rightly proved in his work Silappadigarathu Isai Nunukka Vilakam. That book also written in English. It is Music in Silappadigaram by Dr. S. Ramanathan. So in that book you can see the detailed study of Dravidian music. In that book, Silappadigaram says 7 major palai. Palai means the Melakarta ragas. 7 major Melakarta ragas and 5 land-based ragas. What the puns they have mentioned in Silappadigaram, that tradition we lost. We are not at all using, and we do not know how to render, how to sing that puns. We do not know. Third pass is in Thevaram. Gnanasambandar is the scholar who was capable of singing in different puns, and he mentioned 26 puns in his work, and he composed poems on 26 puns in his entire Thevaram. All those puns rightly sung by Madanga Sulamani and Nilaganda Yalpanar, right? And their tradition also rightly mentioned by Rajaraja Chola and Nambiyandar Nambi. When Rajaraja Chola completed his temple work in Tanjavur, he wanted to use all the Thevaram to be sung in the temple. So they got all the Thevaram from Chidambaram and they do not know how to sing. Immediately they traced the past. Finally they found a lady who is related to the great musician of Sambandar period, the Nilaganda Yalpanar. She is the lineage of that Nilaganda Yalpanar. From her, they got the details how to render the song. This is the third pass. Then fourth, nowadays what we are using today is Kadapayadi principle, Raga. What made the scholars from the 14th century, from Pan to Raga, what made them to change, I don't know. It is a separate research by the music scholars. They have to do the research. We are having 4 passes in Tamilian music. In that passes, we don't have any connection at all. I want to know what is the connection between every pass and what originally they had and what we really lost, we must know. Or otherwise, still it is $1 million question for every scholar. There is no proper history for Dravidian music. Right? This is the problem in Tamil music.
To clarify, does each poem specify the Mudal Karu and Uripurul in the text itself, or are we supposed to infer it in some way? That is one question. Another person has asked, Vibhava, Sanchari Bhava and Sthayi Bhava are Sanskrit words. How are they equated with Mudal Purul, Karupurul and Uripurul? Is it because of similarity of idea? Is it that these concepts existed throughout Bharatavarsha and were put forth in literature in different languages by poets in those areas?
Right. So if you want to read a Sangam poem, especially the Agam type of poem, there are three important things you have to follow very seriously. One is Mudal Karu Uri. So it is not necessary for every poet to write about the Mudal or write about the Karu. But the Sthai, the Uri Porul have to be there in every poem. So if you are not able to identify the Uri Porul in right sense, then you have to search, is there any Karuporul? Automatically, if you are going to find one or two Karuporul, automatically you can land this song is. Even in that, the problem is the Karuporul also can be used. One land-based Karuporul can be used for other land. It is accepted by Tolgappiar. But whereas you are not supposed to talk about one land's Uri Porul in another land. It is not at all acceptable. So Uri Porul is the dhoni or the tone of the song. You are not supposed to change the Uri Porul. You can change the Mudal Porul. If you want to change the Mudal Porul, you are allowed to change only the season and the time zone, not the landscape. If you are going to change, talk about the summer, you can talk about the summer. But if you are not supposed to say in Mullai, I am going to talk about the mountain, it is not possible. So you are not supposed to change the landscape from one Thinai to another Thinai. And as well as in Karuporul, you are not supposed to change the god from one Thinai to another Thinai. In Uriporul, you are not at all going to change anything from one land to another land. So with the help of that only you are identifying this song belonging to this Thinai. That's the most important thing, right? The second question, why I am mentioning the Sanchari Bhava or Vibhava or the Sthai Bhava, all these things are mentioned only in dance grammar. Because I was thinking most of the people or most of the listeners are somewhat related to the dance. For that purpose only I wanted to give the details of the dance aspect. It is not so in the literature. It is Mudal Porul, Karu Porul, Uri Porul only. This is the form is unique in Tamil literature alone. These type of details we have not seen in the Sanskrit literature, one, and these are all the details are not mentioned by Panini in his work also. Panini has written a Sanskrit book, grammar book as Ashta Adhyayi. In that Ashta Adhyayi, he was talking only about the language, the word, letter, and the syntax, marks, and phonetics. But whereas only in Tamil literature, we are having the subject matter, how it has to be mixed in the literature. These are all the details we are having only in Tamil, right? So just for your information, if you want to narrate a poem, you have to give the background. With the background details, you can use the olden days, the poets used to the Mudal Porul. Then if you want to do the examples to reach your examples to make the audience to understand what is the real meaning, for that you need to have the Sanchari. For that you can use the Karuporul. Then Dhoni is the most important, that is the Uri Porul. In order to make the audience to understand the Dhoni, for that you can use the Mudal and Karu. For that purpose only I mentioned as Sthai Bhava, Vibhava and Sanchari Bhava. So they are not directly equivalent to Tamil literature. Tamil literature is having different grammar.
Thank you, sir. Very clear. And last question is, you were mentioning books to refer. The best possible English translation for us to understand Sangam poetry, sir, amongst all the
best book is Institute of Asian Studies book.
Okay.
Institute of Asian Studies book. Deepa, your actually daughter is actually did her mathematics course, right?
Yes, sir.
Near that institute, you can find the Asian Study Institute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know that place. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know that place. You can just get all the Sangam literature in English. That too also they have translated it and given a transliteration and translation and giving the detailed meaning of the song.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
You can get Manavalan Ramanujam book.
Okay, sir. That's also English translation. Okay.
English translation.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, on behalf of all the students, they are extremely grateful and they are very thankful for the clarity, because it is a difficult subject, but I think many of them are very clearly understanding because of your teaching style. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. It is the